This is the Doctor, President-elect of the High Council of Time Lords.
I am definitely a madman with a box.
Anyone for jelly, baby?
I'm the Doctor. I'm 904 years old. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Castabras.
Hey Who fans, and welcome to the Big Blue Box podcast. This is Gary.
My name's Adam.
And this is episode 36. Another one of those pesky weeks.
Is it?
We didn't know what episode we were on.
Yeah. I was just about to say we're on the ball this week. We actually checked before we started.
Yeah, it's the commentary.
Just to be sure.
Yeah, the commentary threw us, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Hope you guys liked that, by the way. We had some good feedback on that. We enjoyed doing that one.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Rose, what a cool episode.
It's funny, isn't it? I think a lot of people, that episode's gone up in a lot of people's opinions. It certainly went up in mine. I mean, I always remember thinking it was good, but having rewatched it, I've got a sort of nice sentimental feeling about it. I actually really enjoyed it.
My thoughts are the same on that. A unanimous 8 out of 10
Yeah,
for us on that one.
that's right.
So, yeah, it's a good one. So that was a commentary. So, episode 36, what have we got this week? We've got some news for you as normal. Then we've got a request for you guys for something that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to bang straight into our review of The Mark of the Rani, which is going to be cool.
A Colin story at last.
Colin at last, yeah. We've only done one, haven't we? So far. Was that the
I think
Cyber?
Attack of the Cybermen, that's before I joined, yeah, because I was thinking this is our first Colin one together. I think you did Attack before I joined, am I right?
I'm very sorry, yes, it was. Yeah. We haven't done a Colin Baker together.
Yeah.
So-
Can you remember what you rated Attack?
No, because I wasn't. I didn't log my scores down when I was doing it. But you know, before you came on board and brought some organisation to the podcast, I wasn't. I wasn't logging my scores down. But I can't remember. I think I rated it fairly okay.
Yeah, I seem to remember you gave it a fairly decent score because I do remember listening to it when it went out because Attack is a funny one for me. I have to be in the right mood for it, and I find some of it quite grim, but I do kind of like it. But yeah, I have to be in the mood for Attack, like a lot of Colin stuff.
Yeah, I think a 7 rings a bell for me for that one. I think it was. Yeah. So, The Mark of the Rani coming up later.
Yes.
What have you been up to, buddy? Are you okay? All good?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I've just had a crumpled up parcel arrive from the BBC.
Oh, here we go.
BBC shop. I took advantage of their yeah, here we go. I took advantage of their 15% off, and I bought. I'd got my eye on this coin, this gold coin, and it's got a really nice little Doctor Who-y sort of emblem on it, and it says, "Am I a good man?" And one side of the coin has got yes, and the other side's got no.
Oh, cool.
And it comes in a nice little box, and it was $12.99. Then they reduced it to $9.99, and obviously they had a 15% off. So I thought I'm going to get that because it's caught my eye. So it's arrived all crumpled up today, and I have to say, despite the way it's been sent, it does look brilliant, and it is really heavy. I wasn't sure like what the quality would be like, whatever, but it actually feels like a proper. I don't know what it's made of, but it's a proper heavy gold coin, and it's really cool. Yeah, it's really good. So more money, but not too bad. I've not been too bad on the spending, you'll be pleased to hear, lately. That was just a little treat because I was drawn in by their offer, their discount.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Have you bought anything lately?
I have.
Oh, what have you got? Oh, I know you got some DVDs.
I've got some DVDs, yeah. I also got some audio stuffs.
Ah.
Yeah.
Big Finish.
Big Finish, yeah. So I went through... and had a look at some older Big Finish stuff that I can get my teeth into. And I came across a few sites that were recommending stuff and all that stuff, and I thought, let me just go and see what's there. So I got just 2. I got the One Doctor, which is Colin.
Yeah, and Christopher Biggins, isn't it?
Could be.
I think it is, if I'm thinking of the right one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a good one, that is.
Yeah, Bonnie Langford.
Yeah. And Christopher Biggins.
Christopher
I
Biggins,
remember really enjoying that. It's a long time since I listened to it, but I do believe that's a good fun one.
Okay, yeah. It looked like a good story. And I'm really into like the Colin Baker stuff on audio at the moment as well.
Oh, he's good on audio, I have to say.
Yeah.
He's very good, yeah.
And I picked up a story called Davros,
Oh, yes, that is good.
which is another Colin one,
Yeah.
which is good.
That's a good story. Again, I haven't listened to it for a while, but that really does stick in my mind because they did a few. They did Davros. What was the other one? The Master and Omega,
yeah,
I think.
Omega,
Like they did
yeah.
sort of one after the other. I don't think they interlinked. I can't remember now, but Davros is it's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Terry Malloy? Must be.
It is, yep.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so looking forward to those two. And also, one of our followers on the show, I watched one of his YouTube videos the other day, and he recommended this story. Well, he didn't recommend a story, but he found it on Amazon really cheap. It's the TJ Productions.
Oh, TJ, yeah.
Thank you very much, TJ, because you found this on Amazon at a killer price. It's the Fourth Doctor, Romance of Crime, The English Way of Death, special edition, Big Finish, audiobook, and it's going for £26 on Amazon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and if you go to Big Finish, I think it's £35 or £40.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I bagged that for £26 off Amazon.
That's
Bargain.
the one with Romana on the front, is it? Is it that one? Yeah, that's nice, yeah.
Yeah, so it comes in this like larger kind of nice fold out thing. And yeah, very cool. So some Big Finish stuff.
You just need to find time to listen to it now.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool for Big Finish though, because when you get the, as you guys know, when you get the CD, you get a free MP3 as well. So you can just slam that on the old computer at work.
Yeah.
Listen away, it's good.
I quite like that as well. It took me a while to get my head around the whole download thing, even though it's really simple. But yes, I do. I'm the same actually. I always buy the physical product, but I like the fact you get the download so you can sort of walk around the house listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
And then, as you say, just a few DVDs. Mark of the Rani for obviously this week's review.
Mm-hmm.
The Time Meddler and Black Orchid.
Oh, right. Okay. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
More classics to the list.
Yeah, and
the shelf.
they'll sort of be for our up and coming reviews, won't they? So that's good.
Yeah. So stocking up on classic and audio, really.
Yeah.
There's not much out in the way of new Who.
No, it feels a bit quiet at the moment, doesn't it? It feels a little bit, a little bit quiet on the old Series 9 front.
It does a little bit. There's yeah, because normally we would have seen. I think there has been a couple of set photos because they've been on location somewhere, and we did see a couple of things, but not as much as we normally do, which I think was the same last series.
Did you see the one of Capaldi with his slight variation on his costume? Have you seen this one?
Yes.
Yeah, with the trousers.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I like it. It's quite subtle. Yeah, they haven't sort of they haven't mixed it up too much, but yeah, no, I think it's good. It's good to have a bit of variation.
You sure?
You're not
like,
too sure?
No, because you were like,
No, I like it. No,
Oh,
I
cool.
think it's good. I was going to say, I wonder if we'll see the return of the sparkly jumper, is what I was going to say.
Sparkly jumper. I mean, do you know if this is kind of weird, and this is nothing obviously to pay too much attention to, but that jumper, are they holes in the jumper or are they things attached to the jumper?
I think there are things attached to it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they are. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so, because I thought they were holes. They looked like holes, but no, I believe they're little sparkly things. So they'll probably be in the Doctor Who exhibition before long, because they're adding bits from Series 8 to it. So you'll probably be able to see the real thing before too long. We can check.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I just thought he had a white T-shirt on or something underneath and they were holes, but...
No,
okay,
that's what
cool.
I thought. I thought that as well, but...
Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff we talk about. The
I
holes
know.
in Peter Capaldi's jumper.
Better than the plot holes in Stephen Moffat's stories. Ooh.
Oh, God, I need a sound clip, something there.
Yeah.
No, I need like an audience kind of, ooh.
Oh,
like
or
a Jerry
booing and a
Springer.
hissing.
Or, Jeremy Kyle kind of. Ooh.
Actually, they might have cheered. No.
We won't cast aspersions upon Mr. Moffat's ability or non-ability to include very decent plot twists and timey-wimey stuff within his writing.
No, that's right. I shall reserve judgment till after Series 9. Yeah.
Yeah, some of his stuff is crap though. Let's be honest.
You said it. But
Yeah. Before we get into trouble, shall we land and do the news?
yeah, let's land it.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, very nice.
Solid landing these days.
Yes, you've mastered it.
So, yeah. First bit of news. Back to the Doctor Who experience. I love mentioning this on the show because it's such a great place. And they've opened up the walking tours, which are always really popular.
Yes, something that definitely appeals to me because I love my locations. I didn't realise they'd stopped it. Actually, I guess is this a seasonal thing because of the weather and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
I would assume, but
Yeah.
so they're back on, are they?
They are back on. Yes, you can jump onto the 75-minute tour apparently, and you can look at as many as 40 different filming locations around Cardiff
Wow.
Bay and the adjacent areas.
That's heaven to me.
That's very cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I love going and visiting the locations from Doctor Who, all over the place. In fact, previously I have actually subtly suggested when I've been talking to my partner about where should we go on holiday, I've sort of said, Seville looks nice in the back of my head, thinking 2 doctors, and then dragged him all around Seville trying to find the water fountain stuff. So they're always in the back of my mind. I love visiting the location, so I'd really enjoy this actually. 75 minutes,
75 mins, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, 40 locations all around that area because the experience is at the Cardiff Bay, so it's very cool. And it's going to run over Easter weekend, Friday to Monday. So today, the 3rd of April to Monday. And then it runs again Thursday, the 9th, Friday the 10th, Saturday the 11th. And then they will continue every Friday, Saturday and Sunday from April to June, apparently.
Right, very cool.
So that's fair. Yeah, it's cool.
You didn't do it when you went recently? You didn't do or wasn't it running?
Well, it's interesting because the first time that I went there, they had cancelled them all at the last minute. I don't know if you remember that story we did.
Oh, yeah, I do, yeah.
Yep. So that wasn't cool. And then the second time I went, which I think was New Year's Day this year, they just weren't running them. So I haven't had a chance to do them yet. But
right.
We'll do it at some point.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I did see somewhere that they've added a load of new stuff in there, I think. So, yeah, which is what I like because it's good that you can sort of, it makes it more interesting if you've already been once to think you could go again and there'd be new stuff to see and stuff to do. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I think there'd be 2 pieces there that you would love, mate. They've
right.
got the costume for the mummy.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that, yeah.
And they've got the full-size model costume, whatever you want to call it, of the Scovox Blitzer.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to get a selfie with the Scovox Blitzer.
Selfie.
That would be good.
Yeah, I just want a selfie with a Blitzer.
Does it look good in real life? Because, on screen we did sort of see it's quite dimly lit and he, did shoot across the screen quite quickly and stuff. But does it actually look quite good up close?
I don't know because it wasn't there when I was there last.
Oh, this is a new one. Oh,
yeah,
right.
These are things that they've added there for Easter.
Oh, I'm with you.
So like some extra costumes and stuff like that. But I imagine it looks pretty cool.
I'm sure, and I would imagine my old mate K9 is there somewhere, is he?
He is still there. Affirmative.
I only did that to get Gary to do the voice, listeners. Yeah, I thought he'd be there because he was there when I went to the very early version of it in the Olympia in London before they moved it down to the massive. It looks huge. I don't know if it's as big in real life, but the warehouse, whatever it is, that I always see the picture of, looks massive. So yeah,
it's pretty big.
Yeah,
I've got some. I'll have to sort them out because I've still got a load of photos that I took the last time I went, and I've not done anything with them yet. So I'll stick a load on there and put them on the Facebook page. And I've got a couple of pictures of K9.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
get them on the old Instagram.
Oh, it's too many to put on there, dude.
Well, you could select some.
Oh, I could do a few.
Put K9 on there. Put K9 on there. That'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And one of you with your Doctor Who slippers that you bought at the convention. That would be good. Have you been wearing them?
I've got them on as we speak.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Right. Hold on. Just getting my
Really?
phone.
Yeah, I want to see evidence of this. Mind you, I've got my slippers on, actually. My spotty ones. I haven't got nice Doctor Who ones like you, but I have got some slippers on.
1 second.
He said, I can hear a tapping of screens. Something's coming over.
Right, as we speak, these will be uploaded to Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Straight on to that's the wonders of modern technology right there, isn't it?
That's the thing right there.
Yeah,
So,
I'm checking. I'm looking now.
I actually got a bit of slipper envy, after talking about these slippers.
Really?
Yeah. A few people have said, "Oh man, where'd you get the slippers?"
Well, I've got a bit of slipper envy. I would have liked them as well. I think if I wasn't, if I hadn't have purchased that smartphone K9, I may have gone for the slippers instead. It was a very tough choice between the two.
Ah, actually, have you used that yet? The Bluetooth
No, he's
K9?
still in his box.
Oh, how is he still in the box?
Because I don't know. I just haven't had time. I don't know. He's still in the box. I'm a bit of a technophobe. I'm sort of, I don't really know what to do with him. I just like the look of him. I'm sure it's probably really easy. I don't know. Just every time I look at it, I think I haven't got time to find out how he works. I assume you have to download an app or something. I really don't know, but yeah, he looks good though.
He does look very cool.
He does look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would have thought you would have had that straight out of the box, annoying everybody with it, controlling it with your phone.
No, I really must do that. I don't know. It is literally because I'm a technophobe and I just don't know how to work it. But it's probably very simple. And I'll probably get him out over the bank holiday because I've got a couple of days off over bank holiday weekend. So perfect for a smartphone K9 trial.
A K9 trial.
Yeah, I like when the cat's having her food. I like to just, because I've got the other K9, the remote control, and that is out. That's, I do like to sort of wheel him up to the cat when she's having her food, and she just ignores it. It never gets the reaction I want. I want her to hiss at it or swipe it, but she never does. Just not bothered in the slightest.
Okay.
But yeah, so maybe I'll get a better reaction from the smartphone K9. We'll see.
Talking of smartphones, picture is now on Instagram.
Right.
So if anybody is watching, is listening to this, I want to jump on Instagram to follow us, so you can see any of these random strange pictures of while we're recording. Just go onto Instagram and do a search for Big Blue Box Podcast, all one word. Yeah, and if you see it pop up now before you listen to this, actually that doesn't work. This is getting too timey-wimey.
I was just going to say, we've got wow, timey-wimey. Yeah, but I'm looking at them right now, and they are a mighty fine pair of slippers.
There you go.
There you go. Right, moving on from your footwear. In other news, this is a great bit of news. Big Finish, their license has been extended to 2020. And I can't imagine, I think Big Finish do a brilliant job producing Doctor Who. I can't actually imagine anyone else doing it, really. I think they do a brilliant job. So I'm really pleased about this. I would guess, we're all kind of hoping that they might sort of have a license for something to do with the newer stuff, but maybe that'll come later on. But this is great news.
It's really cool, isn't it? I can't imagine a world without these guys. I know they do a lot of stuff, not just Doctor Who, and they get involved in a lot of licenses now. But I think they've been such a huge part of the whole Doctor Who thing, especially when there's no. It's just one of those things that I think a lot of fans do when there's no newer Doctor Who on TV. As well as sort of digging out the box sets that we own and stuff like that. This is such a great resource to jump into. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I love my Big Finish, and like you've just bought a couple, and I do find that I buy a lot and build up a backlog to listen to. Like I've got so many that I've got still to listen to, but it's brilliant. Yeah, I absolutely love the Big Finish audios. Yeah, and you're right. They are branching out into doing a lot of other stuff at the minute, and their output is incredible. It's almost hard to keep up with it sometimes. Like the Fourth Doctor adventures, they're on series 4 now, I think, or is it 3? I've lost track, and I'm still on series 3. So I'm sort of already behind, and I love the Fourth Doctor ones. They're really cool little sort of 50-minute stories, and just having Tom Baker on audio is brilliant. So, but yeah, their output is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to next year. They've got the Fourth Doctor and Romana and K9, that TARDIS team back for a series of audios, and I'm really looking forward to that because that's kind of my, era, if you like. Although when I grew up, it was sort of technically Peter. I sort of caught the tail end of Tom and K9, and so I'm really excited that they've got that TARDIS team back.
Yeah,
and it seems so long ago when they announced it. They were like coming in 2016. I was thinking, God, I was like a year and a half away when they first announced it, and it's already feels like it's creeping up quite quick. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it will be cool, and it's a good achievement as well because they've been going since 1999, and so that's 16 years this year.
Yeah, that's right.
And so another 5 years on top of that. They're already going for donkey's years. So, Big Finish have been going for longer, but the Doctor Who stuff has started since 99. So, and if you think about it, we wouldn't have all those really cool Eighth Doctor adventures either, because he would have, I can't imagine that they would have brought him back for the 50th stuff if he wasn't so popular amongst fans still. And that's partly down to Big Finish.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Do you know what? I love the Eighth Doctor audios. The ones in the monthly range can be a little bit hit and miss, but the actual Eighth Doctor's Adventures, they did 4 series of that, they are great. Leading up to the Dark Eyes, which takes it to a whole new level of brilliantness. My God, Dark Eyes is great. Which is another one. I've still got to listen to the last bit of Dark Eyes. But yeah, the Eighth Doctor on audio, it is fantastic. And you're right, it really cemented Paul, showing what he could have been on screen, and brilliant. And they've given us so much great stuff. Actually, if you think about Light at the End as well, was a real highlight of the 50th for me. I absolutely loved it. And also we've got this thing coming out about Colin's last regeneration story and all this.
Yep.
It's brilliant. I love the things that they come up with.
Very cool.
Yeah, so well deserved.
Yeah, I finished The Light at the End, not last week before, because I tried to listen to it like I was on my 4th attempt, basically, not because it's a bad story, just because stuff kept coming up. And I finally got to listen to it from start to finish, and what a great story that was.
It's really good
story.
fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I can't remember which DVD it's on, but there's an extra on one of the DVDs where Russell's talking about how he kind of, it sort of in a way saved Big Finish. When Doctor Who come back in 2005, there was the BBC were quite sort of strict, as they are now, about who had licenses, and someone apparently said to him, "What is this Big Finish?" And Russell T Davies kind of just said, "Oh, don't worry about that, leave that to me," because he knew that they might sort of not know what it was and just get rid of it. So
okay,
I can't remember the sort of ins and outs of it, but yeah, Russell T Davies was a part in sort of keeping it going, and thank goodness he did, because the output from him is just brilliant.
It is great stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the first one I ever bought was an Eighth Doctor one. I think it was the Chimes of Embrace the Darkness.
I Embrace the Darkness. Yeah,
it's a great story. And then I picked up the Chimes of Midnight. So the first couple that I had were the McGann Eighth Doctor ones, and they were really good.
Chimes of Midnight's really good. I've just listened to that a couple of days ago, or was it last week? Again, I've lost track of time, but I've just re-listened to that for the first time in ages, and such a good story. That really, really sort of atmospheric and brilliant.
Very cool. Yeah,
very good. Yeah,
so well
done.
Yeah, well done. Big Finish. So that's 2020. So at least another 5 years worth of Doctor Who stuff to look forward to. Yeah.
Yes.
Last bit of news. We've got a guest star for Doctor Who for series 9. Are we on 9?
Yeah,
Coming
it's
up?
funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
I keep thinking the last series of series 9. I have no idea why, but yeah, series 9, then the next series.
I think it goes to show just how bad we are with both names and numbers of stuff.
Yeah.
Series 9, guest star Maisie Williams. You probably know her as Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. She's a very cool actor. Have you seen her in Game of Thrones?
I don't know her. No, I was just going to say I don't watch Game of Thrones. I just can't get into it. But yeah, so I've absolutely no idea who she is. But apparently she's brilliant, and the internet's really pleased about it. So I can only assume she's really good.
She is.
Yeah. Do you think No, she can't be the new assistant, can she?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think she's just going to be in a one or. This upcoming series is full of two-parters, isn't it? But so I imagine she's just going to be in a single or a two-parter story.
Okay.
They're not really revealing too much about it, though. They're just saying that she's involved in one of the stories, And Stephen Moffat goes on to say that they can't really say too much about who or what she's going to play, but she's going to challenge the Doctor in very unexpected ways.
All right.
This time he might just be out of his depth, and we know Maisie is going to give him exactly the right sort of hell. So I'm really looking forward to this because Game of Thrones is, those of you that do watch it, is a very cool show, and her character is very, very cool.
Do you watch it?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and I can see her fitting in perfectly with Doctor Who. She's got that right. She's got that right level of seriousness and quirkiness, I think.
I'm looking at the promo picture of her, and is she really that small, or have they just not sort of positioned her very well in the TARDIS picture? Because the TARDIS console looks huge next to her. She looks really tiny, or is she that tiny?
Yeah, she is quite small because she's not very old. She's only a she's not a little girl, but she's only, actually I don't know how old she is, but she is quite small, yeah. And
yeah, she looks small.
She does look small, yeah. I don't even know if that's a real photo.
No, it's not. You can see that they've sort of plonked her in there. It's totally out of proportion. But we've got two titles, haven't we? So the first one's called The Girl Who Died, written by Jamie Matheson. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that right because people keep saying it differently, but that's the news I'm really excited about because I've been waiting to hear that Jamie is coming back because his 2 episodes from Series 8 were by far the best for me.
Yes.
Personally, I loved it. So I'm really, really pleased to hear he's coming back. It sounds like they've only announced him as writing this one story, The Girl Who Died, and I'm hoping he might write some more. And then we've got another one, the Woman Who Lived. So we've got The Girl Who Died and The Woman Who Lived, written by Catherine Tregenna.
Tregenna, yep.
Again, so a new writer to Doctor Who, which is great. So that's interesting. 2 quite teasing titles, isn't it, that we've got there?
Yeah. Yes, and they're going to be directed by this guy who's doing Poldark at the moment.
Oh right, I haven't been watching that. I know my
me either. Yep.
Well, I know my aunt was getting in a tears over it, but I've no idea why. Something to do with him not wearing a shirt for most of the episode or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, no, that's good. I'm absolutely thrilled. Jamie Matheson, is it? Matheson? However you want to say it. I'm really pleased he's back for Series 9. Hope he's back for more than one, to be honest.
What did he... I know it was Mummy on the Orient Express. What was the other one he did?
Flatline.
Oh, Flatline, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
They're my 2 favourite, actually. I love both of those episodes.
Yeah, they were cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really good news.
That is good news. So some cool stuff actually coming up for Series 9.
Yeah.
Series 9, yeah. It's going to be... I've got high hopes for this one. I think it's going to be better than Series 8.
I hope so. I was chatting to someone just yesterday, actually, who didn't watch all of Series 8. And I was saying, what happened? Why did you... what went wrong? We were sort of saying it started off really strongly. It's just the last 3 episodes where it really tailed off. And that's a shame, actually, because you want the ending of a series to be its strongest. But once we got to In the Forest of the Night, and then what was the other one? Dark Water, which wasn't too bad. And then Death in Heaven, which wasn't very good. You sort of, don't know, the end of Series 8 sort of pitted off a bit, and then we got the Christmas special, which I really wasn't a fan of. So I am hoping that we get a step up in quality, because I thought Series 8 started off really strongly. I was really loving it, and I don't know, it sort of tailed off a bit for me. So I'm hoping we go back up. Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be a good series. And I've got a good feeling about it, because they had a new Doctor, so you always look back, and hopefully they'll look back and see what worked and what didn't work. And then, in his second series, hopefully they'll really play to his strengths, is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, hopefully. And I think, because this upcoming series is going to be a lot of 2-parters as well, they always it always gives you a little bit more room to stretch and, do some bit more character building and flesh a story out a little bit. You don't have to pace it so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, they're all very cool. And we've got some good stars coming up. And like you say, hopefully they'll look at it and think, that didn't work, and that was very cool. So it should be good.
It should be good. And I've just noticed, actually, that I'd forgotten this. Rufus Hound has been announced as appearing in it as well. And although he's a comedic actor, sometimes comedians make very good actors.
Yeah.
And he's a massive fan of the show. I bet he's a bit like Frank Skinner. I bet he's really thrilled to be in it. And I don't know how much he's going to be in it, but that's quite nice.
Yeah. I think Series 9 will be good.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll wrap for news.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we get on to our review of the Mark of the Rani, wanted to just announce something that we're going to do in 2 weeks' time, which is our first Q&A. Which is quite cool because we always get loads of questions either through Facebook or Twitter, normally appended to the end of comments. So normally people say, "Oh, I like this episode because of blah, blah, blah. What did you think, Gary?" Or I wonder what Gary thinks about this, or I wonder what Adam's comment's going to be on so-and-so. And when we went to the Day of the Doctors Convention, I also had loads of questions there as well. So it would be quite cool to just do a proper Q&A session for you guys. So if you want to ask us a question, instead of just jumping onto Facebook or Twitter and just filling up that with stuff that we have to trawl through, it'd be cool if you could submit an audio clip or a YouTube video. Either way you want to do it is fine. If you want to do it on YouTube, just record the video, send us the link, we'll take a look and we'll grab the audio and use it in the show. Or if you want to send us an audio file directly, you can do that. Again, we'll use that in the show. And all you need, if you're going to do, like I said, a YouTube video, all that needs to be is a link to that YouTube, and I can do the rest. I can grab the audio. If you want to send us an MP3 file, if you can send us an MP3, if you're doing it audio, that would be preferable. And because anything else will just take up loads of space. You just need to send it to the email address, which is Adam.
I've no idea. What is it?
I don't know. I'm going to find out now for you.
Oh, right.
It's normally one of those. So next week we are doing, and then Adam's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought you were asking me that. I was going to say, I know what we're doing next week.
So if you just email that clip to us, the address is hello@bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk. Nice. Hello.
Is it? I never heard of that email address before.
Well, it's not been on the website.
All right. Hello.
Yes.
I like it.
I just had to think of it very quickly. So audio stuff. Send it through to us. Ask whatever question you like. It can be to Adam, to myself, or the both of us together, whichever you like. And what we'll do is we'll stick them all together and we'll go through them, and we'll spend no more than, half an hour going through those. So we would love to hear your questions. And what we'll do is we won't do it next week. We'll just give you guys a week or so just to get those ready. We'll do it on Friday the 17th of April. So mark that in your calendars. And you've probably got until... Wednesday, let's say Wednesday the 15th.
Yeah.
If you could submit your YouTube link or your audio file by then, and then we'll get it all sorted out and we'll do that. Yeah. Q&A.
Good stuff. Yeah, great.
Right, review time.
Yes, bit of old 6C for a change. About time, isn't it, really? So yeah, Mark of the Rani.
Well. The Rani.
You were expecting to see the master?
To see? Not exactly. He was burnt to a crisp the last time I saw him.
Your smugness is misplaced. He's here. He's very much alive, and he wants vengeance. Curse the pair of you.
Well, since we're insulting each other, I can't say I care much for your taste in clothes. Doesn't do a thing for you.
Your regeneration's not too attractive either. But at least I can change my appearance. You're stuck with what you've got.
Our face is of no importance. Brain regeneration is what I need. I should have been able to pin this one down to you. Personality changes, probably due to an imbalance in body chemicals. Yes, you're the obvious culprit. Well, you had me fooled, if that's any consolation.
It isn't.
You'd have been discovered eventually, you know, even without my intervention.
I never have.
Oh? Well, this isn't your first visit?
I've been coming to this wretched planet for centuries.
Without being discovered? Well, I'm impressed. You're obviously a brilliant tactician as well as a brilliant chemist.
Oh, it isn't difficult. These humans you so admire are a feckless lot, always in disarray. The Trojan Wars, the Dark Ages, the American War of Independence.
And now the Luddite riots.
Perfect cover.
Cover, yes. But for what? I think I've got it. You're extracting a chemical from the brain. The result is the victims become violent, aggressive, can't rest. That's it. The chemical that promotes sleep.
I begin to understand why the Master finds you such a menace.
Slightly longer audio clip there than usual, but one of the things that I really enjoyed about this episode, before we get into the review, is the chemistry between the Doctor and the Rani. And also when there's three of them together as well, the Rani, the Master, and the Doctor. So, the mark of the Rani.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. Actually, I think that's one of the things that gives this story a bit of an up, because I think the chemistry between the three of them is brilliant, and it does sort of make it better than it could have been. I think because it's a good story, but with this 45-minute episodes, two 45-minute episode format is quite different to what we've had before. But I think because of the sort of scenes between the Doctor and the Rani and the Master and everything, they do kind of add something to it where sometimes it might have lagged a bit, I think.
Yes. So this was two 45 minutes back in 1985.
Yeah, I didn't like it when they changed it when it went out. When I was a kid, I don't know how old I was, but I didn't like the 45-minute format back then. I used to like the 25-minute 4 episodes. Watching it now, I think it works okay actually. There's a bit of padding in it, no doubt about it. There's a lot of the Master walking around. I kept thinking, what is he doing? I mean, there's a scene at the start where he's dressed as a scarecrow, which is ridiculous. Like, what is the Master doing in the middle of a field dressed as a scarecrow, just watching the world go by? It's bizarre. But yeah, I do think it works fairly well in this actual story.
Yes. What would you prefer then at the time? Like 3 half-an-hour episodes or 2?
Yeah, I just found not so much now, but just when they went out as a kid, I found them a bit too long, especially the 2 Doctors. I remember thinking the second episode of that really drags. It just seems that sometimes the writers struggle to fill the 45 minutes with a story, because I mean it works well nowadays because I think they've got more of a sort of more of a budget to do it, and they can actually perhaps realize things better on screen. But I don't know, back then I found it a little bit hard going. But I enjoyed it. I think it works okay in this story. I think it's other stories that perhaps suffer a bit from the 45-minute format. Yeah,
I think this one I actually I preferred this shorter number of episodes but slightly longer than half an hour. Only because I think sometimes with the classic stuff you have to I think people prefer that if there was like, say, 4 parts of half an hour, for the first 3, you have to work out some kind of cliffhanger for the first 3 parts.
Yeah.
And, it's okay in a way because you've got like this up and down kind of story arcs to it. But I think this one, it just had a really nice progression to it, right from the beginning to the end. It had this build, with what the Rani and the Master were up to, and then how their plan progressed, and then you had the Doctor kind of intervening, and you had Perry also. She was quite cool in this, and it all kind of culminated at the end. And I thought the ending was quite cool as well. So I think having 2 episodes of 45 minutes, it did have this nice progress. The story progressed nicely through each of them.
Yeah,
and it wasn't too bad pacing wise as well. Sometimes, as we've said in the past, the classic stuff can be a little bit slow sometimes, but I thought this one was okay. There wasn't too much of just sitting around and nonsense. It was it cut quite quickly from different locations within this little mining town.
It's a really good location, isn't it? It really works well in the story because it feels quite claustrophobic as well. They seem to it's all sort of centered in that little mining village, and it looks visually good. Yeah. And all the costumes and that really work well, with the sort of location and stuff. So yeah, it does. It does work well, I think.
Yeah. And originally, when I was watching this, I thought that they filmed it at this place called the Beamish Historical Place, which is in Newcastle.
Oh, right.
And I thought it was there because some of the stuff they've got there, like the mining pits and all the kind of old school, that era of stuff. I thought it was from there, but apparently no, it was in some other little village and some little places in Stratford, I think, something like that.
Somewhere near Shropshire.
Shropshire, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was up, or supposed to be up in Newcastle. I thought it was there, but no. But what did you think to some of the accents? Because I think there were a couple of Geordies planted in there, but some of them possibly needed to work on their accents a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit. I have to say, I think the actual supporting cast are actually quite good in it,
They are,
despite the odd accent slip. But yeah, no, I think they would do work quite well. And they do seem to be taking it seriously, which is one of the things, like when we were talking about Survival the other week, you were saying about the supporting cast and how it seemed very pantomime. But the people in this seem to be sort of giving it their all. Yeah, and I think they are quite. They look like they're enjoying it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, there was none of that. Oh my God, I look like a complete moron doing this, so I'm just gonna, try and fudge my way through it. They did look. Yeah, you're right. They did look like they were putting their all into it, and I quite like the supporting cast on this one. They were especially Lord Ravensworth, played by Terence Alexander.
Is that the guy out of Bergerac?
Yes.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's got one of those classic faces that it's quite expressionate even when he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he's good in it. I like cool. He's not in it very much, but I like Peter Childs as well, another actor that used to be on TV quite a lot. I always think of him as being in Minder, but he's good in it.
Who was that? That was
he's just one of the sort of workmen that gets possessed and goes a bit crazy.
Jack Ward.
That's it. Yeah,
Jack. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Talking of looking a bit of a Nana, what did you? Because Colin's outfit always gets comment because it's so outrageous. But what did you think of Perry's outfit in this one? Because it's equally as ridiculous, isn't it? It's so gaudy.
Yeah. What is
she wearing?
What was
I don't know.
Did you put it on because one thing that I couldn't quite get my head around on this, and if you're listening and you know the answer, please let us know. But I thought that because there are times when the Doctor has a purposeful reason for going to a certain time, and sometimes you have the companions dress appropriately. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for this one, I'm pretty sure that the TARDIS at the beginning was kind of hijacked.
I think the Master was supposed to have hijacked it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
Yeah. So how did Perry know that she had to dress that way for the time? Because the TARDIS was hijacked, and they didn't really know exactly what the location was or the time. So. And I mean, the costume she was wearing was just god awful. To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure why she wore that huge dress, skirt, pinny thing. I don't know. And the colour as well is this mustardy yellow.
You can't miss her.
Yeah, you can't miss her. Yeah, but she stood out like a sore thumb because nobody else was dressed anywhere near, as shameful as that. So
apart from Colin.
Well, yeah, apart from Colin.
Yeah, but why does the Master hijack the TARDIS? That's the bit I didn't quite get. Like, why does he bring the Doctor there, and then is it just to kill him? I don't know.
Let me see.
Because he's trying to basically he just wants to take over the world again, isn't it? That's what he's trying to do.
Ultimately, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know if he's just trying to get rid of the Doctor at the same time. Don't know, because the Rani's got a sort of quite a good. She's just sort of experimenting, and this is what I love about the character of the Rani is she's clever and she's sort of doing all these experiments, and she's a good rounded character. I really like the Rani, and I love Kate O'Mara as well. I think she's brilliant in it.
Yes, we're going to talk about Katie in a short while, but yes, I'm not quite sure why or how the Master hijacked the TARDIS at the beginning, because it's kind of one of those stories where the beginning, it doesn't really have much in the way of substance, does it? It takes the story just a little while to get going because you don't really know. It's one of those things where I think you mentioned it about Survival, where when they first land in is it Perivale?
Perivale, yeah.
Perivale, yeah. The Doctor instantly knows that something's wrong, but there's nothing to suggest that anything's wrong. Do you know what I mean? And the Doctor does it in this story where he kind of senses immediately as he's walking around that something's wrong. And then we obviously find out that there are no birds singing, at the beginning. But that just might be because there's no birds there at that moment.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to suggest that something is, there's something sinister happening or something's wrong. And you don't really know what's going on until you find out that, the Master's involved and the Rani's there. But yeah, it's kind of weird. The Doctor gets plucked out of nowhere somehow, lands on Earth, knows something's wrong, but you don't quite know why he senses that. So it's kind of weird, but
yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of just you just sort of kind of expected to go along with it, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, and what did you think of? Yeah, so Perry's costume. I mean, I have no idea what they were thinking doing it. I can only imagine they've just tried to do some kind of period costume and tried to make her stand out as the companion. But I don't know.
I think you're right. I think that's what they were going for. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of? Sorry, before we get on to the Rani, what did you think of the Master in this? Anthony Ainley. Did you think he was cool in this?
He feels a little bit out of place, actually. I mean, I love the scenes with him and the Rani together. I love the interaction between the two of them and the snappiness. There's some good lines. I mean, I love it when he first meets her and he's like, "No welcome," and she's like, "You're not." There's some really nice lines and stuff. But when he's on his own and he's just sort of wandering around, I don't think he does sort of feel a bit like a spare thumb sometimes when he's not with the Rani, because I'm not too sure what he's doing half the time. But also, I don't know if Anthony Ainley felt a little bit pushed to one side having the Rani in it. I don't know. But he's still good. I do. I mean, I like Ainley as the Master. I do think he's still good in it. I'm glad he's in it. And I love it when he's scheming with the Rani. But I don't think it's his most shining moment. I don't think he's at the top of his game in it. Okay.
I'm glad you said that. Because I didn't want to go straight in with, I felt he was a little bit bland. You're like, no, he's amazing. But I thought, I thought his performance was a little bit understated, a little bit bland. I just think it was, when it's the Doctor and the Master, and there's plenty of scope and room within an episode for them to bounce off of each other. I think when you throw a third element in there, I think there's a bit of jostling for power. In terms of not just how the story and the characters were written, but just the actors themselves as well. I feel that Anthony Ainley was a little bit put out a little bit by Kate O'Mara. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what. I mean, I'm glad he's in it because of the interaction, but I'm not really sure if he wasn't in it. I don't think the episode would suffer. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make much difference because I'm not really sure why he is in it, if that makes any sense. Apart from, because like we just said earlier, I'm not sure why he's summoned the Doctor there. He just wants to take over the world. So that's kind of, a bit bland in itself. But yeah, I'm glad he's there. But I don't think if he wasn't in it, it wouldn't make a lot of difference, really. Yeah.
And I also found that his motives and his purpose were a little bit watered down as well. Purely by the Rani, because she kind of plays it down as in, oh, you and your stupid games with the Doctor kind of thing, and she's almost insinuating that his only purpose in life is to kill which it kind of is, I guess. She's like, your only purpose is to kill the Doctor, and your ridiculous schemes and stuff like that. So they've kind of diluted his menace in a way in this episode, because while the whole Master's very evil and is, capable of destroying the Doctor and taking over the universe. In this one, he was kind of, well, I viewed him anyway as like a jealous kid, really, just a jealous kid who wants to give his mate a punch in the mouth,
Yeah, exactly. I think that, that's why I love the Rani, is because she's much more, especially in this story, she comes across as much more intelligent and sort of, like you said, she just thinks the Master and the Doctor are just like two school kids. She's not really interested in it, really. She just wants to get on with her experiments, and that doesn't she? So yeah. I like that. And I think that's why it's good that he is in it, because it does give you nice little scenes and moments like that. And it is great when the three of them come together and you get the feeling that, even though this is the first Rani story, you get the feeling that they know each other, and they talk about Gallifrey, don't they? And the Master saying why she was exiled and all this, and that works brilliantly. So it is good in a way that the Master's there for that. But I don't know. I don't know what really they could have done with him. I don't think there's much more they could have done apart from that, really.
Yeah, and I really like those elements within the story about they didn't have to, or they didn't really set up her character too much. She was just there in the middle of doing something, and you would kind of just stumble across what she was already doing. And those conversations between the Doctor and the Master and the Rani, all about them, having this backstory and this history, and you're just kind of plonked in the middle of it. They didn't they didn't do this backstory for the Rani, to explain why she was exiled and that stuff. You just she just was, you know, and that's the end of it. And I like that. I like that you're plonked in the middle and you just have to follow with what's going on. And that was some of the best bits for the episode, or the episodes for me, was that interaction between the three of them. It's very cool.
Do you like Kate O'Mara as the Rani? Do you think she gives a good performance? Because I love her.
I was going to say, yeah. What did you think of Kate O'Mara? I think she's absolutely brilliant as the Rani. I think she's so good. Yeah, she was. She has this confidence about her as well, because you know, back in the early '80s, there was this element of sexism, which was a lot more public than it is today. So her to come on as a woman and be, you know, a Time Lord at the same level as the Doctor and the Master, and have almost the upper hand throughout some points of the episode, even though the Master kind of bullied her a little bit and, you know, took her toys away. She still had this confidence about her that was, kind of that leading lady kind of quality that was quite rare back then. It was almost very much a man's, you know, world in terms of acting and stuff. So she was great. She was really cool, and I loved that very much not taking any nonsense from the Doctor and the Master. Did you get that as well?
Definitely, yeah. I think Kate O'Mara and Colin worked together before this, and I think there's a good rapport between the two of them, because I think, you know, they do gel very well, you know, even with the bickering and stuff. So yeah, no, I love Kate O'Mara, absolutely brilliant. I wish we'd had more of the Rani, actually, because we only get one other story with Sylvester, and that's it. So there's only 2 Rani stories, and in my mind I always think she was in it more. You know, it's hard to believe this is her first story, because she's an instant presence on the screen. I think that is down to Kate O'Mara just being a really strong, you know, actress. Yeah, really, really like her.
There was rumours, wasn't there, that when Missy came into Series 8, that she was the Rani. And I think a part of me wishes that she would have been the Rani rather than the Master.
Yeah, I thought that at the time. I remember being quite disappointed that she turned out to be the Master, because I wanted her to be the Rani. And it's funny, actually, having watched this story again and just, you know, loving Kate O'Mara as much as I did in it, I'm now starting to backtrack a little bit. I'm thinking I don't know if I would want anyone else to be the Rani, because I really just like her so much in the part. And it's strange, because I listened to the Rani Elite, the Big Finish story recently, and although I enjoyed it, I can't remember the actress's name. Well, it's not that I can't remember it, so I can't pronounce it. The actress who's playing the Rani in it is just nowhere near the Rani for me. Right. Although I like the story, but I was really just like, no, it's nothing like the Rani. Too nasty and calculated. Whereas in this, she is calculated, but she's clever, but she's also got the humour as well. You know, so yeah, I really like the Rani. I wish we'd got a bit more of her, but I mean, she's a credit to Pip and Jane Baker, the writers. I mean, they come in for some stick for some of their stories. Have you ever actually seen them? Have you seen them on the documentary?
Yes,
they're really endearing, aren't they? You can see that. That Jane wears the trousers. Yeah, you know, can, from a mile. I really love them as the way that they come across. But yeah, I think they came out of a really good character, and it's it could have easily been a sort of copy of the Master, and in many ways it is. It's a female Master, I suppose, but she is more than that. Definitely, she's got a lot more to her. Yeah, and
I really, really liked her Tardis. You know.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would, because I love it. I mean, I think the actual console looks like quite an expensive prop. I'm surprised they didn't reuse that, because we never see it again. And it looks really good with its little spinny thing in the middle, and, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean, her console room. It just looks awesome, yeah.
It does. Yeah, I really like it as well. And I like the fact she's got all these little experiments in there, like that funny dinosaur that she keeps watering and all this sort of thing. Yeah, no, it's a really good set, and it really suits her.
It does, yeah. It's got that cool colour scheme as well. That's like that black and reds and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's such a shame. I don't know if it got damaged in stock or whatever, but you do briefly see inside the Rani's TARDIS in Time of the Rani, and it's it's very disappointing compared to what we get in this. I mean, it's such a brief scene, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. I love the console. I'd quite like to get one of those.
Would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
Do you reckon they'll ever bring the Rani back?
I don't think they will now. Not for some time anyway. I think because we've got Missy, and we've had the Master in it, it kind of makes her a little bit redundant, I suppose, which is a shame, actually. I think that is the other reason I wanted it to be the Rani at the time. It's because I was thinking, well, we've had the Master. Let's have somebody different.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what, yeah.
That's one of the other reasons I wanted Missy to be the Rani. But yeah, I don't think we will. I think she could be good on audio. As I say, I wasn't very taken with the Rani Elite performance, but I think she'll be all right on audio. I think they're doing more audios with the Rani. I think there's a couple more coming up. So
There is,
she'll probably
yeah.
work quite well. Yeah.
Okay, because I think if they have the right actress cast, I think it could be a brilliant TV story, 2-parter at least.
I am really surprised that Big Finish didn't contact Katamara sooner, because she was due to actually reprise the role before she sadly passed away. I just wish they'd got in touch with her much, much sooner, because it would have been... Can you imagine her on audio? Katamara would have absolutely been brilliant.
Yeah.
On audio. I think she would have loved it. Yeah, such a shame.
Yeah. Because she's cast perfectly, I think. That's
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okie dokie, right. Unless you've got any other comments, do you want to mention the last line?
Well, no, I've got a couple more things that we must talk about before we get to that.
Sorry.
First off, the tree.
Oh, of course, yeah. How could we forget the tree?
What on earth is going on with that tree? I just surprised that the Doctor accepts that. I don't know. There must have been a way to reverse it, but he kind of just says, "Oh well," that when the people step on the mines, they turn into trees, and it's really bizarre when he saves Perry from walking on the mine. That's probably the one bit of the episode doesn't really work for me.
Yeah, and I think also that, well, I didn't see the Doctor clearing up the remaining mines either.
No. I think there's a sort of scene of him walking around with a stick to save himself, but no, I think he just leaves them there.
Yeah.
But so that's a bit of a comical moment. And then another bit that I think is supposed to be serious that actually turns out to be a little bit comical is when the Doctor's strapped to the trolley. Because it's supposed to, well, that's the actual cliffhanger, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to me, I think that you can almost imagine if you put the Benny Hill music on it, it would be quite funny.
Yeah, I thought that was okay actually when I was actually watching it. But now you mention it, and the only reason why I'm laughing now is because you mentioned the Benny Hill music.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can imagine that in a Benny Hill sketch now. Yeah,
yeah. But overall good. I mean, yeah, I think it's a good story. It's not one of my. I find the Colin era quite a tough era to sort of watch, but this is one of the more enjoyable ones. I think it's there's a rawness to Colin's era that I never quite know how far they're going to go,
right?
Particularly with the violence, and this is one of the lesser violent stories by far in the Colin era. So I find it quite an enjoyable watch overall.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought Colin was quite good in this one as well. He had a couple of little moments where he kind of shouted a little bit and stamped his authority, and he had this kind of cool investigative vibe about him as well for the first episode at least.
He's still quite tetchy, isn't he? Because I was thinking they'd started to mellow him, but he's still quite tetchy, isn't he?
A few outbursts, yep.
Yeah, especially with Perry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really quite horrible to her. I sometimes wonder why she continued to travel with him, because he is quite harsh to Perry at times.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, but yes, I like Colin. I like his performance. I do like him as the Doctor. I do like the tetchiness, but
yeah,
perhaps he could have been. Yeah, I don't know. He's good. He is good.
He is cool. Scores. Oh no, before scores, you want to mention? You said remind me if I don't mention it.
Oh yeah, well no, it was part of the listeners' comments actually, so I'll come to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the listeners mentioned about the ending to it, which we'll come on to in a second.
Lovely. Right.
So yeah, so overall, you like this one?
Overall, I like this one.
Yeah,
I thought it was quite cool. Whose turn is it for score? I think it's me to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I will give this one a 7.
Snap on a 7 as well.
Oh.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going to go slightly lower than that.
Did you? Why lower?
Just because, with the exception of Kate Amara, and the good story, I didn't think you liked too much else. I think the Master was quite mediocre. There's not much in the way of locations. It was fairly contained, claustrophobic, as you say.
No, there's I enjoy it. I do enjoy this one. Yeah, I do think it's good. I think,
Cool.
as I say, compared to some of the sort of stories with Colin, I find this one quite an easy watch. No, I like it. There's the only sort of downsides of it are the tree, which is which is not a bad thing. It still works. I like it when Colin's tied up as well between the two, slowly drifting down towards the mine. I thought that was quite fun. No, overall, I find this quite an enjoyable little watch. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys for sending us your thoughts as usual and your opinions. Very cool. I've got a couple on Twitter very quickly. Claire at NerdOwl42.
Oh yeah.
She says, "I love Mark of the Rani. If it wasn't for the tree and Scarecrow Master, it would be my fave Colin story." She gives it a 9 out of 10.
Oh wow.
And Madge, which is at One Outside, she says, "Absolutely love it. From what I've watched of Six's TV stories, this is actually my favourite."
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep. So that was Twitter. On Facebook, we have Thomas Andrew Evans. One of Colin's best stories, in my opinion. Brilliant acting from all the cast, and it's so upsetting that we won't see the Rani in Doctor Who again. I would give the overall episode 8.5. Jeff Waddle. I'm sure I'm
Waddle.
saying that right.
No, you're not. It's Waddle.
Waddle.
As in model.
Model. Yeah, sorry.
Jeff's a model and I'd say, yeah, it's Jeff Waddle.
Right, so there's definitely no V at the beginning. It's a W. And
That's
it rhymes with model, so it can only be Waddle.
Jeff Waddle.
Jeff Waddle, right. So probably, no, definitely one of the better Six's runs, but then that's not saying much. Yeah, and then just corrected me again on the pronunciation of his name. So I'm very sorry, Jeff. It's Jeff Waddle.
Yeah.
Nailed it, right.
We've got it. Nothing from Kai this week, so it's not as if I can even rival you in getting Kai's surname wrong. Yeah, I had a couple. Just Harry Williams. He thinks it's a good story. He says it's got a couple of funny moments, like where the Doctor's strapped to the table, rolling down the hill. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's meant to be funny because it's the cliffhanger, but I thought it was a bit funny. Ben Lett, he's such a big Colin fan. Ben, he's his favourite Doctor, but he says it's Colin, so it's amazing. I remember not liking this story much. But on a rewatch, I like the historic aspect. Strange, actually, because, yeah, Ben's favourite Doctor is Colin, so I'm surprised that he didn't like it on first watch. It's probably because it's not violent enough. I think Ben likes the grittier Colin stories. But also, yeah, I had a little soundbite sent in from Wesley McCammond because he was driving, so he couldn't text, rightly so. And he just says about the brilliant last line. He says it's the best end line of a Doctor Who, where the Doctor and Perry are going into the TARDIS, and the bloke says to him, "What are you doing there?" And he says, "Argue mainly." And I thought that as well. I thought, yeah, it's a lovely little end line, actually. Really like that.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're done. Are we done for comments?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep. I do have to say a quick sorry because I left it really late in putting the Facebook and Twitter posts out there asking you guys to comment. We normally do that a day or two after the show's gone out, so normally a Sunday or Monday, but I left it until this morning, so thank you very much for those that have jumped on at the last minute.
I was going to say, very bizarrely, I did exactly the same thing. I don't know what happened, Gary. We both just forgot. I remembered about midnight last night that I hadn't put anything up, so I did the same. I quickly put something up this morning, so apologies from me as well. If you're listening to this thinking you would have liked to have commented, then I apologise. But do still comment if you want to, because we always love reading your comments about the stories anyway. So
we do, so keep them coming. It's cool. So 7 out of 10, the Mark of the Rani.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to wrap on that one.
That's it.
Thank you very much for joining us for episode 36. And thank you for your thoughts and opinions on the Mark of the Rani. I actually liked, I really liked watching through that one, mate. And I didn't really take many notes down, which is strange. Normally I take down a few notes on characters and story, but that one, it was just, only wrote a couple of things down and it flowed quite nicely. So I think for many people, they'd probably consider that a good thing, seeing as the McCoy... the Colin Baker era is normally viewed, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's quite a different one for Colin. I think when you compare it to his other ones, it's got a different feel to this one, and I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. So next week we're going to be doing
A Matt Smith.
a Matt Smith. Yes, what is it, Adam?
It's we're doing Amy's Choice.
Aha, that's right. Yes,
Yes, with the Dream Lord. So this will be interesting.
Dream Lord, birds singing, all the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've done a Smith one for a little while now. I think it
No,
was.
it has been a while.
It was our commentary. I think the 11th hour.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So looking forward to doing that one.
Is this another one where Rory dies? I seem to remember he dies again in this one. But anyway, yes.
Yes,
looking
he
forward
does.
to it. Yeah. Amy's Choice.
Amy's
so
Choice.
we'll remember to put a picture up, won't we? And give us your comments on that one.
Yes, we will definitely do it on time as normal. That one.
Yeah.
So the Q&A coming up in a couple of weeks. As I said, all you need to do is do something either on YouTube or an audio clip. If you're going to do YouTube, that's cool. Just send us a link to the video, or if you're going to use an audio clip, just email that over to hello@bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk, and we will do our best to answer all of your Who questions.
Yeah. Look forward to that.
Yeah. So jump over to the website, bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk. From there you can find all of our previous episodes, and you can jump over to Twitter and Facebook, give us a like and a follow so you can join in on all the cool topics and conversations and pictures and all that jazz. And also something that really helps us, if you got 2 minutes, just jump onto iTunes and leave us a review. That would be awesome. Until next time, my name's Gary.
And my name's Adam.
And remember, Allons-y!